Hi everyone, welcome to another nightly crypto stream where we stream crypto and analyze the market. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome, and just want to make sure that my mic is connected. Yeah, cool. All right, I'll also connect my stream to my OBS. Okay, we're good. Perfect. Hey, look at where we are. I didn't stream last night. I got a little busy, was watching the Ecuadorian presidential debate because we're having elections soon. And yeah, it went pretty one-sided, which that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on whatever your stance is. Good thing for me. Anyway, that's not that relevant to crypto. Ecuadorian politics really have nothing to do. Ever since our low, we're up 4%. Today in general, 24-hour, we're 1% up for Bitcoin. We've been slowly rising up. It's not like a instant continuous this kind of a rise, right? It was a bit less steep, still rather steep nonetheless. That's why we're seeing a bit of a correction in the past couple of hours, which is normal. We reached a high of 88,000 today, which is practically one of the zones that I had drawn out over here. I'm pretty sure I had this zone drawn out, right? I mentioned this a couple days ago. I was like, the fact that we were like over here in between these candles. This is 23rd of March, right? 22nd of March, 23rd of March I didn't stream. 22nd of March, around this time was when I was streaming, right? I readjusted the downtrend and said, you know what? We could see us rising up to here, and look at exactly what happened. Pretty decent. Would you call all of this a resistance? I don't think I would. That's a bit too large, but hey, highest point 88,700. That's still not too bad. New pivots have been drawn. This is our new support, which I agree with, 84,500 approximately. And then you got your resistance, which it's currently, being tested, I would say, right? If we're looking at the 4-hour chart, we did flip bullish. That is a good sign. Another possible bottom indicator. However, the video that I made last time, I did talk about the M2 money supply and how scarily accurate the correlation between Bitcoin and a 170 something day lagging M2 money supply chart looks like, right? If you don't know what I mean, too bad, go watch it. Now, my point is, what we're currently seeing is something that it accurately predicted. It did accurately predict the fact that we would rise by the end of this month, which is where we're currently at almost, right? 24th of March. How far can we go? I could see us hitting 90,000 pretty easily. The amount of, volatility that Bitcoin has, it can move thousands in one day, which that's just something we've become accustomed to at this point. Where will we see a drop? That was looking like, coincidentally, according to the M2 money supply, before April started. April 1st. And it was a nasty drop, the one that we saw. It went as far down as if Bitcoin were hitting, what was it, 74,000. Why don't my lines aren't drawn? Hold on. I want this line drawn. This one, 73,800. It's an important line, right? It was the resistance of all of 2024. And I think that's what we're going to search for next. Worst case scenario, it's going to be 70,000, right? No lower than, we're not going to see the 60s. We're not going to see 69, 68, none of that. At least I hope not. Otherwise, it would be cycle breaking downfall. It could be. That could be the case. And this is, if you're thinking, wow, that's absurd, dropping from here to here, look at this. Like, it's happened before. And it's happened even worse, right? From 97,000, we instantly dropped to 78,000 within a matter of a couple of days, right? And we're going to stay down for a while. I could say that would be one more drop, right? If it's not that bad, we'll go back to the range where we were before over here, right? If it's not that bad. This is like the final level of the Fibonacci sequence that we're seeing. To continue our uptrend, I could actually draw a new Fibonacci lines. But we don't have a top yet. I think we are still gonna rise throughout this week. So I would need a top from there so I could figure out where we could draw a Fibonacci, right? If we're going to rise up to here, like 90,000, for example, we could see 79,000, 82,000. This support one looks really good. I would say if we are going to drop, it's going to be around this level, 80,000, 81,000, approximately. And then, according to the M2 money supply chart, it's going to stay flat, down, maybe some range movement, right? Throughout a whole month until May. May is when it actually took off. And according to the M2 money supply chart, it's looking like it's going to rally for 2 months straight. So the whole month of May, then June, and also parts of July. That's what we have the data for so far as of today. And it's still going up. And by that time, Bitcoin's looking like it's at 120,000 from that chart. I know I'm comparing it to the chart a bit too much, but I just agree with it. Right now we do have a spark of optimism, thanks to Trump tariff stuff that I'll get into. But I mean, I don't think nothing is confirmed yet. Mainly stuff is all speculation, and we'll see what's going to happen here. By April 2nd. He said he's not going to do April Fool's Day, so April 2nd is the day of reckoning. We'll see what happens. For now, solid uptrend. This downtrend is broken, hence why we have flipped bullish in the super trend. We are now looking to break this downtrend, and from this downtrend, we don't have any other downtrend for Bitcoin, which is a good thing. But that also means that this is a very significant one. Who knows? Maybe we don't even break this. Maybe our new range is between that support, which is this is actually a really good support, 85,500, was it? 84,500, sorry. Yeah, so from there till whatever this is, 89,000. Maybe we will stay within this range until that drop. Maybe we don't even see 90,000. Maybe we do. Maybe a spike up in the price. But to reach 90,000, we would have to break that downtrend. And I don't know, man. By 1st of April, 2nd of April, we could still easily be below this downtrend. Could be significant. So yeah, there's your price analysis. In terms of my bot, what did my bot do? I don't remember. I showed you guys, right, that this one had a take profit. This one was a trade from today. Unfortunately, I hit a stop loss. It was going fine. I entered in Sui. And it was going great. You see from here. But it didn't continue rising. I was looking for 250 as a take profit, I think. But it ended up dropping and hitting my stop loss with a candlestick that low. Unfortunate. And it's currently back on its way up. That's a bit annoying. Look at that perfect resistance, though. 244. Almost 245. Pretty good. Sui is up 6%. A lot of the alts are up a couple percentages thanks to Bitcoin's rise. And, you know, spark of optimism has come back into the market, right? Sui also did a great break of its downtrend here. Set a new pivot point at 232. Not too bad at all. Clear uptrend for now. Where can we draw this uptrend from? It seems good. So let's go ahead and draw it out then. I'm gonna use this one about there. There you go. This is a confirmed uptrend for now. In terms of downtrends, though, it seems like in the 4-hour chart, we're still under one, are we? Well, we're under this one. Oh, this is a very long-term downtrend, though. Yeah, I wouldn't draw any shorter ones from here yet. Just keep it where it's at right now. This, you see where the price is right now? That serves as a support and resistance to where we currently are right now. The R1 and the pivot points already shows that, so yeah, there's the significance of it. I do have to write down that trade, that failed trade, unfortunately. And, I mean, if it was a 1-to-1, that would have been a take profit, easily. But I did a risk-reward ratio of 1-to-3, so that's why I didn't. Yeah, I think the volatility already happened, and it didn't continue rising, unfortunately. Alright, let's write this down. It's in SUI 324. Entry price is there. Last one was 22. Yes. Okay, so just want to make sure I'm up to date on everything. Lost this much, 47, and paid $2.40, and then another 30 in funding fees. Cents. 270. Stop loss triggered. A 1 to 3 would have worked. Sorry, a 1 to 1 would have worked, not a 1 to 3. Risk reward ratio. I've been losing $24 every day. So far, terrible month. Month of March. Oh well. Still got a couple days left. I'm gonna stick with 1 to 3, even if it's painful. I'll ride it out. Still uptrend for a majority of the coins, so, you know. For now, I don't have the bot running. It already closed its trade and then it automatically, like, shut itself off because my computer shut itself off from being AFK. But that's alright. Okay. Next coin I want to look at. Solana. Look at a great rise that it had. 144.91 was its highest of today. Currently at 141. Dropped to a low of 139. Pretty volatile day for Solana as well. Huge rise. Broke through the first resistance and stopped at the second resistance from the new pivot points. It also drew this low pivot very perfectly. I like that. 200 SMA is also coinciding with the uptrend. Barely though, because I have to adjust it. Yeah, there we go. It seems like it's a bit wider now. It's fine. R1 coincides with super trend, so that should be flipping bearish if we do break below 138. Currently, we're in the middle of what appears to be forming a possible new range zone, so keep an eye out for that. This was the previous resistance that I had drawn at 136, support and resistance multiple times, but we managed to break through that. Pretty good for Solana overall, 5% up today. Ethereum also had a good day. Rose from 1,900. I think this was the previous day when I entered this trade over here. That was the winning trade that I drew out over here. It took its profit from here, reached 2020, dropped again to 1975, rose again immediately from there, a nice 5% pump to 2,103. That was good to see Ethereum breaking that level, and we're staying at the top area at the moment, next to the first resistance of the pivot point. I like this, the pivots. It's easily drawing supports and resistances for me. That first support served very well. Similar deal to what Solana did. We'll see how it plays out. Can we see a drop somewhere here? I could see a possible support, resistance area right over here. You guys see that? I'll draw it out. And do we see any more? Not at the current moment. Yeah, I wouldn't consider this. So, yeah. 2070 approximately would be this little range that it's in at the moment. Could take a while. We'll see what happens when how it reacts when it approaches that downtrend line. Could continue downwards and seek support once again, and at this level. Otherwise, we can break out of that and reach the 2,188 would be our next target, the second resistance level. Cool. For now, though, we're in need of a bit more fundamentals, and we will be getting some economic data this week. I'll go over that in a moment. XRP has been relatively flat compared to the rest. It already had its pump a little bit earlier, so that explains why it hasn't moved too much today. Currently $244 down, well up, sorry, 0.70%. Currently headed down though. That's not too bad. Reached a high today of 250. That's not bad either. Not much else to say there. Let's have a look at Litecoin. It's up 2%. Also slowing down at this resistance at 95. That's the level that I wanted for this trade over here. I was looking for a 1 to 3 to reach 95 before 95, but it didn't have enough strength and ended up hitting a stop loss down there. That was the trade that I previously made in Litecoin. From there, I haven't touched Litecoin. Could have. I don't think I would be awake for this. This is 1 a.m. Yeah, I wasn't awake for that midnight pump that happened overnight on Sunday. No, yeah, Sunday night, Monday morning, however you want to understand that. Cardano is, it reached a high of 74 today, currently 73. Decent pump as well, not too crazy. 3.35% up today. It's officially in an uptrend, similar to everything else. We have a shorter term downtrend here. I mean uptrend. Possibly. I just want to see how this would look from there. Could help diagnose some movement. We do have a clear resistance though where the R1 is approximately this zone over here. Multiple times it's touched that top area and then dropped to the bottom over here. Alright. We'll see how that plays out. We still need more time for Cardano. If we are in a range, it seems like it's going to be around this zone. And hence why I drew the uptrend to figure out how long it will take until we could see some reaction to the price from there. Could take a while, and everything is pointing to end of month, suspiciously. If we do break this and head to the downside, that wouldn't surprise me, because I have that in mind from the M2 money supply chart data. Yep, so we'll see how things play out. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the news that we have going on. First bit of news is the price consumer, PCE inflation, oh my gosh, whatever this is, index release on Friday this week. That's critical data for the Fed and recession outlook. So it could cause some volatility. We should pay attention to what's going to happen on Friday. This is the big news that made most markets, rise back up again. The White House scales back their April 2nd tariff plan, focusing on targeted reciprocal taxes. That is bullish. We will not have tariffs anymore. Possibly. It's not officially announced, I don't think, so keep that in mind. The White House image... Okay. This is what Grok explains. There's an announcement of scaling back broad tariffs planned for April 2nd in favor of targeted reciprocal tariffs. This policy shift, reported by Wall Street Journal, aims to reduce trade tensions by focusing levies on specific nations like Canada, Mexico, European Union, while sparing sectors like cars, chips, and pharmaceuticals. The decision aligns with Trump's earlier reciprocal tariff plan, which outlined a February 2025 memorandum which sought to counter unfair trade practices, but now appears more strategic to avoid market disruptions. That's a good thing. He realizes the impact that it's having on the markets and is adjusting how he will be using the tariffs that way. That's overall very good. Let's, wow, I closed my exchange by accident. Okay, let's move on to this. Trump also, he did mention this. He may give a lot of countries breaks on tariffs. If he's just going to keep the reciprocal tariffs thing, that's fine. Like, you charge me X amount, X percentage for tariffs, we're going to do the same thing to you, kind of deal. One thing that he will be doing, though, this is for sure, is Trump will be imposing a 25% tariff on countries importing oil and gas from Venezuela. That's for sure what's going to happen. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the politics sector of this, because I want to keep it as crypto related as possible. I'll keep politics for, you know, separate videos. That's at least what the plan is. I did release 2 videos today, by the way, if you want to go watch them. 3 videos. One of them was yesterday. But this is related to crypto. Trump's World Liberty Financial has just launched a stable coin called USD1, and they're using Binance Chain for that. That's pretty cool. They released their new stable coin, so now you have more options. We have USDT, USDC, we have DAO, we have whatever the other one is. I forgot what it's called. DAI. Did I say DAO or DAI? It's DAI. DAO is something else, I think. And also this one, First Digital, I think it said. Yeah, this is another stable coin. Can we see where that coin is? It's USD1 is the ticker. I don't... Yeah, it is this one. It's 99 cents. Yeah. It's on Kinesis Money. No reserve data available. So it seems like it's not fully available or open yet. It's also number 4,752 here. But yeah, I mean, it exists, and they're using Binance Chain for this. Kinesis Money, is this like, does this use Binance at all? Control F, BNB. Binance, no, doesn't exist. Cool. We'll never know yet. Alright, well, we gotta wait for more information on that then. This is interesting. Trump Media and Technologies, right? They are planning a partnership with Crypto.com of all exchanges to launch ETFs. That'll be interesting as well. And thanks to this news, we do have Crypto.com pumping like crazy. Kronos coin, wherever it is. Did it rise? Am I blind? I'm blind. I'm gonna have to search it up. Am I seriously blind? Yeah, it's not here anymore. What? Did it drop that much? I'm blind. Bro. It's number 39. Anyways, it's up 16% today. Once that news got announced, boom. Went from... It's still 8 cents to 9 cents. Wow. I remember this being worth 22 cents and me thinking I'm a genius. Then this rose to $1 Canadian. And I didn't sell. I bought more. No, I didn't buy, I don't think. But I always have Kronos on staking because I do have an account on it. Crypto.com there. But yeah. It's still there. And it's number 39. Where did it go? Why am I blind? It's not here. 39, it's not here. I'm not crazy. Did they change their name? They couldn't have. Oh, it's over here now, 43. What? Okay, well. CoinMarketCap is playing tricks on me while I'm live. Let me remove that. Alright. Another thing that Trump is doing with Ethereum is... He also has a lot of Ethereum on his World Liberty Financial, right? 50% of his portfolio is in Ethereum. It is super undervalued. Everybody can agree with that at this point. It obviously has not been performing as well. It's something that Trump has to do, right? I mean, if he wants to pump his own portfolio, he's going to have to do something with Ethereum here. BlackRock also sees this. Ethereum assets under management from BlackRock surpass $1 billion. They know something. Fidelity as well. They filed for a US Treasury fund on-chain on Ethereum with the Securities Exchange Commission. They're expecting their product to go live on May 30th, which is good for Ethereum, right? Fidelity, if you don't know, they manage $5.8 trillion in assets, so, you know, this is a big deal. Their digital US dollar will go live May 30, so keep that in mind. Of course, the higher that ETH goes, the bigger the altcoin pump will be. We're all hoping for at least 5,000 Ethereum. I hope for 4,000 just to get rid of it, honestly. I do feel like there are obviously better options, but it's still a good coin, right? Ethereum. Everything is using Ethereum. It's clearly like... It's just so popular, right? No reason not to have Ethereum. Everything, every DeFi, not every, but most are using Ethereum, or I guess the Ethereum clones like Solana. They're competitors, right? Ethereum was the OG on it. Alright, let's talk about Michael Saylor. He's looking at this chart over here. Well, I mean, he posted this chart. This is the price of Bitcoin throughout the years since September 2020 to 2025 of March. The orange circles are the purchases that he has made in Bitcoin. The bigger the circle, the bigger the purchase, of course, right? The smaller the circle, the smaller the purchase. You'll notice that recently, I mean, he's been making big purchases at the top. He did mention this as well. Like, I don't care. I'm going to buy the top all the time. And we only had a very tiny circle down here, which people were saying, did he run out of money or what? What is Michael Saylor doing with MicroStrategy? Well, he did say that it needs more orange, hinting at the possibility of him purchasing more, which is exactly what he did. This came out today. MicroStrategy has acquired 6,911 more Bitcoins. The total cost of it was around $584.1 million. Average price of $84,500, the price of Bitcoin. He's achieved BTC yield of 7.7% year to date. As of today, MicroStrategy now holds, they did it guys, 506,137 Bitcoins. That was his plan all along, right? To accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. He set a target of accumulating 500,000 Bitcoins, and he's now surpassed that. So yeah, there you go. Congratulations. In total, they hold all that 506,000 Bitcoin. The total cost of it all, $33.7 billion. And the average price, $66,608 per Bitcoin. That's his average price. So right now, he is very in profit. And he will be in even more profit once things do continue. Is this the same post? I think it is. Because I do want to talk about this. These are the top companies that hold Bitcoin. Number one, you have MicroStrategy. They went from $4.99 to now $506. Oh, wait. So then the other chart might be updated. Yeah, it is updated. Okay, this one's better. So they went from $4.99 to $506,000. Marathon Digital Holdings is the next company that holds the most amount of Bitcoins at 46,000. So imagine, Strategy has 506,000. Marathon has 46,000. Then you have Riot, 18,000. Tesla, 11,000. And then you have a bunch of other companies. I don't think you know what CleanSpark or Hut 8 is. I don't know. Coinbase, 9,000. And all of these are US companies, by the way. Block, Square, 8,000. We have a Canadian company here, Galaxy Digital, 5,000 Bitcoins. German company with 3,000. Then, you know, a bunch of other smaller companies. Is there anyone that I do recognize? Exodus is a wallet, 1,900 Bitcoins. Bitfarms is a Canadian farming Bitcoin company. Mining, you know, 1,000 Bitcoins. Yeah. And then these are a bunch of other smaller companies. Not too bad. Yeah. The companies, like these institutions, will be accumulating more, of course, if they're already, you know, if they already have exposition to the space. Some of these, of course, are mining companies, so they will always just suddenly have more without purchasing more. But they're, you know, contributing to the Bitcoin mining process, which, you know, it's necessary. You don't have the electrical power to do that, right? You're going to need a big, huge warehouse with volcanic energy and big cooling fans to, you know, get some Bitcoins mined. All right. Next post. Billionaires accumulating Bitcoin, transferring, well, withdrawing 1.22 thousand Bitcoins, which is worth $106 million from Binance. Where is he putting that? Probably into a cold wallet. He's planning to hold. He's not selling. He must know a pump is coming. Ray Dalio, billionaire as well. He says that he owns Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Even the billionaires are aware of the power of Bitcoin. If a billionaire is willing to risk your money, his money, what are you doing with your money? You know what I'm saying? Not financial advice, by the way. International Monetary Fund, the IMF, apparently is adding Bitcoin to their own reserves and soon will add Bitcoin to the SDR basket. If you want to know what an SDR basket is, so do I. So let's look that up. Okay, well, special drawing rights are supplementary foreign exchange reserve assets defined and maintained by the International Monetary Fund. The units of the account for the IMF. Okay. So they have the world's 5 leading currencies: US dollar, euro, yuan, yen, and the UK pound. Nice. And of course, they were actually anti-Bitcoin, if you didn't know this. They have discouraged El Salvador and the US from buying more Bitcoin, but hypocritically now they are doing it. Suspicious. Yeah. This talks about the M2 money supply again that I was mentioning, and I did go a bit more in depth in my previous stream, so if you want to know more about it, go watch that. But this is the general idea of what I'm talking about. We're currently here, right? The orange line is Bitcoin's price. The yellow line is the global M2 money supply. It's obviously showing data in the future because this is like July, right? Why? Because it has a 107-day offset, right? It's just pushing, like, this is technically supposed to be here, but it's just pushed 107 days forward. Because if you pay attention, you'll see that the correlation is practically similar, right? And we're at this zone right over here that could be a mini rally that fails. And that's currently what we're seeing, like, literally right now. This post was from yesterday, so it's not taking into account today's rise, which would be right over here at 88,000. This line right over here. So we're currently practically right here. From here, what's next? Possible drop. Where? Could be as low or could be worse to the drop that we had at 76,000 Bitcoin right over here. Possibly. Right? Possibly. Now, from there, what is the lowest point? Beginning of April, according to M2 Money Supply. If Bitcoin follows this trajectory as it has done in the past, historically speaking, we're going to see one more low point. April, beginning of April. And we know what's going to happen beginning of April. Like, it just all lines up so perfectly. I don't even think this is coincidental anymore. Like, this is just, it's waiting to happen, right? April 2nd, we're going to get those little tariff, reciprocal tariff, or whatever the case it is. We don't know for sure what's confirmed, what's not confirmed. Trump still has yet to make that official announcement, so we will see. And then we're going to stay down here for a while until whatever this green line is, which happens to be Wednesday, April 30th. From here, we don't go down anymore. And we rise. We have this up channel that just keeps on rising all throughout whatever May is, June, and practically this is the beginning of July, 107 days from today. And look at where Bitcoin could possibly hit. Like 130, what, 5,000? 127,000? We're going to be well above 120,000. Possibly. Maybe we won't be. Maybe this will happen where Bitcoin didn't follow the trajectory of this, the M2 money supply. But I mean, the overall direction is similar though, right? The M2 money supply rises, Bitcoin also rises. Why does it work like this? Is because this is the amount of money that's just available in the world. If there's no wars, if people are, willing to risk their money, invest, they don't have to save money because they're not scared of any recessions or anything like that, what are they going to buy? They're going to buy risk on assets like Bitcoin. So that's the point of this. I want to see if I could draw this up myself. I don't know if I can on TradingView. How would I do this? So it's using a daily chart. I don't have any other indicators. I only have this, the moving averages, which is fine. I'll keep it. M2 Global Liquidity Index. I'm assuming it's this one. Okay, can I confirm, like, combine, I mean? How do I combine? Can I combine? Add alert, add indicator strategy, add this indicator to favorites. Move to existing pane above. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. And this is offset by 107 days, right? So my precision, no, it's not my precision, is it? My visibility. Oh no, I don't think I could change the offset of this, can I? Values, labels. I don't think I could change the offset of this. Oh, that's unfortunate. I really wish I could. Well, settings, no. I don't know how to on the merge all scales into one on the left. More settings. This is the scale of this one. Okay, what about the other? I saw there was another one. M2 Global Liquidity Index. 10-week lead. Is that right? How many days is 107 days? Oh my gosh, embarrassing. 15 days. No, 15 weeks. 10-week lead. Give me a 15-week lead. Oh, 10-week lead then. Is that what's normal? I assume so. Alright, I'm going to do what I did, which was... What did I do? I forgot how I did this. Visibility, move to existing pane above. There. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm trying to show you guys. So this is where we currently are right now, right? It's, okay. It's not exactly correct because this is using 10-week, but I'd rather use a 15-week lead. But just, hear me out, right? There we go. That way both of these don't shift away from each other too often. So, yeah, it's got to be offset a bit more. I don't know how to change... Oh, okay, I see what that does. That's not it. Yeah, no, it won't do 15 weeks. I wish it was 15 weeks. But you get the idea. We're at a low point, and we're going to get a high point very soon. This could be the bottom. It very well could be. We could see just one more drop. We could see, I don't know, a range of staying down here for a while longer. Because just look at the correlation. Just look at the correlation. It's so similar. Okay, it's messing with my head now. I'm going to delete that. But, okay, that's what I wanted to show. Cool. It's real. I'm going to read the post as well. Why not? It will be interesting to see what happens from here. Will Bitcoin continue to follow the mini rally that fails as pictured and then blast off later? This would validate the 107-day offset. Or will Bitcoin blast off immediately? That would validate a different offset of 70 days, which is fine as well. 70 days, that's the 10 weeks, right? 7 divided by 10, yes. My bet is on the 107-day offset chart, but anything is game. Remember, regardless of which offset is right, the big picture is a massive 2-month-long M2 liquidity injection is coming our way, and it could go for longer if M2 keeps going up. That's mega bullish, keeps us inspired of what's going to come this cycle. That makes sense as well. I didn't even consider that. If it's a 70-day, maybe we don't even get another dump. and it will just continue rising. That's crucial. This is a crucial moment. If we do get one like last dip though, like April 2nd, I am going all in. I don't care. And I'm probably not going to do that, but I'm just saying I am, because whatever. Who knows? We'll see. It's not financial advice anyway. All right. Senator Loomis. I talked about her and her plan of proposing to the US government a way of accumulating Bitcoin by selling the gold reserves to buy digital gold, to buy Bitcoin. It won't cost taxpayers any money. We'll get rid of our useless gold that we have there. Well, gold is useful, but you know, you want to have Bitcoin. It has a better rate of return than gold. Just historically speaking, that has always been the case. So it might be a real thing. Bo Hines, the executive director of the President's Council of Advisors on Digital Assets, says that selling gold reserves to fund Bitcoin buys is on the table. Okay, so it exists, the possibility of this. It's backed by the Bitcoin Act of 2025. Wow, that's crazy. That's a real thing. The plan would see that the US would acquire 1 million Bitcoin, which is 5% of the total supply that can ever exist, which would make America the global leader in crypto. That's true. They would have more than Satoshi Nakamoto, which has 1 million Bitcoins. The US government already has 200,000. The plan was to buy 200,000 Bitcoins every year for 5 years. If we do the math, 2 times 5 is 1 million Bitcoin. You're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin in 5 years, hold it for 20 years. You also have another, what the heck? You also have 200,000 Bitcoin in your possession already, which is already part of the strategic reserve that you will not be selling as per the new Bitcoin Act that has been signed. So yeah, it could be a real possibility. We're not using a single taxpayer dollar to do it, is what she says, which it just makes sense to do this. This is the Bitcoin Act being signed, by the way, which made Bitcoin drop suspiciously. So yeah, that's great. Also, when's the last time we audited the gold that we have? 51 years ago, Fort Knox Gold Reserve. We don't even know if we have the gold there still. And Bitcoin, of course, its last audit, it can literally be whenever. It's the blockchain technology. Everybody can also see, right? Full transparency. Like Bitcoin audit is public is also very good. Well, speaking of Trump as well, he posted this. I don't know what to think about it. Yesterday he said, "I love Trump. So cool. The greatest of them all." He's talking about his coin. And even the Twitter account, the official Twitter account, is reposting this stuff. Posting about the Trump coin, which made it pump like a 10-11% or something. Is it still up? It's not up that much today, but this is the Trump tweet. Boom. 13-14%. It's not too bad. 15%. And it's sold off a little bit there, kind of calmed down, stayed high, and now it's a little bit dropping. I wouldn't consider any price action analysis for this. It's literally so volatile to the point that a whale will enter and it will pump the price like crazy, or sell, or dump, right? It's always dumping because of just bad news. Look at these crazy dumps as well. Okay, so too volatile. I'd stay away from meme coins in general. And I'm already in this. I bought it in spot at like $30, and of course I'm at a loss, a third of my price. I didn't put too much in it anyway. I'm like, you know what, I'll throw a couple in there. Binance apparently has also bought back at least $250 million worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana in yesterday, adding it to their hot wallet. Pretty cool. Solana is also not Solana. Well, Solana is being accumulated, right, by Binance. Another thing for Solana is Polymarket launching on Solana, enabling Solana deposits. Let's ask Grok to explain this a little bit more, because it's pretty cool. Polymarket, of course, being a part of this, using Solana. We know that Polymarket is a cryptocurrency-based prediction market launched in 2020, allows users to bet on future events like elections, economic indicators. It faced regulatory challenges, including bans in the US, France, Singapore, Belgium, early 2025. Solana we know as a fast and energy-efficient blockchain, supports thousands of transactions per second, makes it an ideal platform for Polymarket's expansion with Solana deposits, enhancing accessibility for crypto users. The move to Solana aligns with its growing ecosystem, which handles 81% of all decentralized exchange transactions, potentially boosting Polymarket's appeal amid competition from platforms like Bet, launched on Solana in 2024. So they're using Solana as well. Pretty good. Kraken also considering up to $1 billion in debt financing. Here's more information on that if you're interested. DYDX also doing a buyback program, allocating 25% of monthly net protocol fees to strengthen their ecosystem. It's been a while since I heard of DYDX, but yeah, there you go. Last bit of news. I mentioned this as well. Tim Wells talking smack about Elon Musk and Tesla is like, whenever I'm having a bad day, I just pull out my telephone, go to the stocks app, and I see Tesla, and I see 224 and dropping. So, haha. Take that, Elon Musk, right? Ever since that day, it's been rising. That's pretty funny. It's also rising due to the fact that there's a surging demand for Teslas now. Service centers are slammed with customers. Apart from the fact that, you know, they're being attacked and vandalized and everything, people are more willing now to buy Teslas for whatever reason, so that's great. It's 278. That is insane recovery that it had. And I drew this out, and I wanted to plan an entry, but I think I'm a bit too late. Now I gotta wait for a drop. Like, it's fine. It did re-enter this down channel, so might see another drop one more time. It's currently meeting its first resistance, though, so that's why it slowed down at 281. 281 is where the resistance is, right? Yes, but we shall see how Tesla performs. Great. Also, we're getting, speaking of Polymarket and all that stuff, the reason, you know what? What's his name? Carney? Polymarket. Can we... Alright, whatever. I'll search for this. Okay, this is what I wanted to show. So, a couple days ago, this is Canadian politics, by the way. Liberals and conservatives are about to have their election due to this. On the Polymarket polls, Poly polls as Trump likes to call it, once Justin Trudeau resigned and got replaced now by Mark Carney, the new leader of the Liberal Party, he started leading in the polls. And I guess his ego inflated a little bit, where he said, you know what? Let's call an election, because originally it was not planned. But now that he sees that he's leading Pierre Poilievre in the polls, now he's like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm possibly going to win this election, and, you know, I'm at my highest chances right now. So he calls an election for April 28th is when Canadian elections are going to happen. Finally. Man, I've been asking for this for years, I bet. And I mean, not, you know, it's a good thing. We don't have to wait until October anymore, right? Get this all over with as fast as possible. And then after these elections were announced, now Pierre is leading in the polls compared to Carney. He's now 5% lead. That's crazy. Is this 5%? Yes. He held the lead for the last 16 days, and now it's reversing back to Pierre. Once the odds were in Carney's favor, now he's lost those odds. I bet he feels dumb now. Anyway, we're hoping Pierre to win. Go Pierre. I'm voting Pierre. That's all. Great. Not a lot of movement. We did have a little dip here. 86,778 was where we dipped to just now. Hey, possible entry. Where would I enter? Everything's in an uptrend. I could try Bitcoin. I could try 1-to-1. Matter of fact, I think I will. I'm going 1-to-1. And I'm doing it live. This is not what I'm looking for. Let me go here. This, more options. No, I opened something else. Open with code. I don't know what Visual Studio is. It's gonna ruin my computer now. Changing risk reward ratio 1-to-1. Close that. Close this as well. Open my Anaconda prompt. Go to Documents. Go to GitHub folder. Go to the Strategy folder. Python live.py. And we're doing... Are we doing Bitcoin chat? Which has a greater potential of growth towards its high. 3% growth. 1% growth. That's not that good. I think Solana's probably better. Ethereum is 1%. XRP, ooh. Oh, 2%. It's not too bad. Sui. 2% as well. Solana is in the lead, by the way, so might have to enter in Solana. 2% for Litecoin. And, oh, Cardano is, yeah, hardly much. Smells like we're gonna have to enter Solana here. Better chance of hitting a larger high, because our resistance is now up here. So, you know, we don't gotta recover too much. So we're going Solana. Load, load, load. Yeah, we're still technically in a downtrend. The 5-minute chart. But overall, 1-hour trend is up, and as long as our target is below 144, which it should be, our stop loss would be like over here approximately. I assume our entry would be like over here. What is this? Well, let's just say 1.20% from here. From here, another 1.20%. Like, we'd only have to rise up to here for a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio to hit our take profit if our stop loss was down here. That makes sense. I could even try a 1-to-2. Another 1.22%. That could also be valid. Like, we have enough room to run if that would be the case. But I'll stick with 1-to-1 since we're about to enter a low volatility period overnight session. So we shall see. I've been streaming for 51 minutes. Man, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you... not tomorrow. Wednesday.